I turned Millwall into the most aggressive team in the world, Part 1. Whilst the vast majority of players dream of taking their team to the top of the league, to continental glory, or want to bring a minnow up through the leagues, my dream for Football Manager 2020 is a little bit different. I want to create the most aggressive, horrible, vile, unsporting team in the world. Success will be judged on fouls committed and on yellow and red cards. Points are of secondary importance to the project, though obviously I will have to get enough to keep my job. I want to kick my opponents off the park. Literally. And the team for this? There's only one choice, Millwall. Well, there were other choices. Stoke and Leeds were obvious contenders, but I felt like Millwall fit the bill the best. I felt that this club would embrace my philosophy of bringing in unsporting thugs to hack at the opposition for 90 minutes every week. After a quick introduction, the Millwall board demand I play pressing football and direct football. This suits all of us. The higher the pressing, the more fouls we will commit. The board also want us to end up in mid-table. Nothing too demanding, and this will give me time to help mold this club into the vile place my philosophy demands. One of the first points of call is to create a code of conduct. I don't want my players to worry about being carded, so remove every possible sanction for cards. The squad claim this is too lenient. I assertively tell them I won't be changing it. Morale is already low. Key attributes and AMP, traits. Before doing anything, I establish exactly what I want out of every player. The most important attributes are aggression, bravery, work rate, determination. Furthermore, there are some player traits that will be instrumental in helping me achieve my aims. Dives into tackles, winds up opponents, argues with officials, gets crowd going. I will prioritize all players with these traits and attributes. My aim is to ideally have every player in the squad to have as many of these traits as possible. Transfers. I also set about overhauling the squad. I transfer list and loan list any players with low aggression, less than 12 for now, but I will re-evaluate this after the season. Ideally I want everyone with a minimum of 18 aggression, but that utopia will have to wait. The squad feel my actions leave us lacking depth, and the fans are angry I've loaned out the skillful Jed Wallace. His aggression was far too low. He was never going to make it. I dive into the transfer market. Key target Lee Cattermole has only just joined VVV Venlo and refuses to talk to me. Arturo Vidal and Gary Medel are out of our league. Ashley Barnes, an icon of this shithouse football style we will be cultivating here, refuses to talk. Things look bleak. Eventually we do some deals. Not the icons of shithousery we were after, but good, solid, horrible footballers like Sonny Bradley. His bravery, aggression, determination, and work rate are exactly what we want. Plus, he likes to wind up opponents. We need more players like him. I also bring in a young French ball-winning midfielder, Ibrahim Karamoko, a young striker, Ryan Edmondson, a Reunionese left-back, Kenji Van Bodo, all with high aggression and the potential to improve in the future. Finally, I bring in Darren Fletcher on a free transfer, primarily for his argues with officials trait. Training. Transfers aren't everything. For this to work, I need everything at the club to push in the same direction. To this end, I immediately set about training every single player at the club to dive into tackles. My coaches try to convince me otherwise, but I refuse to back down. Every player starts the individual training, from the U18s through to the first team. Those who cannot learn it will be sold. The other key traits won't be as simple. They cannot be learned through training, much to my dismay, only through mentoring. I promote the most promising youth players to the first team, and set up mentoring groups with the first team players who possess these godlike qualities. The likes of Alex Pearce, argues with officials, Darren Fletcher, argues with officials, and Sean Hutchinson, winds up opponents, are assigned impressionable youngsters to tutor. Tactics and preseason. Preseason is a mixed bag. To maximize the number of fouls committed, I base my tactic on the high-pressing gegenpress, with wingbacks providing the width whilst a trio of ball-winning midfielders harass the opposition in the center of the park. Fouling isn't simply a case of sitting back, you need to bring the fight to the opposition to maximize the fouls per minute. The first ever game of the new Millwall era is promising. 17 fouls and 3 yellow cards. It's a solid base to build on. Unfortunately, we never reach these highs again. Away at Hapoel Rishon LeZion, we only commit 8 fouls and receive no cards whatsoever. We win the game, but the performance is unacceptable, and I tell this to the players. Morale plummets. Our final preseason game, at home to Zaragoza, ends in a 1-0 defeat, with 0 cards. There is much work to be done.